welcome to Rams Brawl. This is Derek Ciapala with former St. Louis Rams linebacker Tommy Polley. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since he's been on, and we're waiting, just hoping, fingers are crossed, that Arlen can make it tonight. He's coaching late. We got a text from him saying he was getting off the field a bit ago. Hopefully he can make it. In the meantime, though, we got to talk some football, and a lot's going on in the NFL world, even though we're not playing. But first things first, Tommy, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Just riding this COVID wave. My high school team, the powers that be, shut us down for 2 weeks. Just being precautious. They said we wasn't social distancing on the field and all that good stuff. So I don't know.
Hold on. Social distancing on the field. Well, you're playing your football, dude. How are you going to social distance on the field? How is this supposed to work?
I think they're protecting themselves. They had the guys work out. We've been working out for like a good month and a half. So I just think the school starts the 10th. So I think they just don't want anything to happen until the 10th so they can actually start school. And then so to me it's like so the kids can actually to show the parents, give them confidence that we're going to have school. So we show them that we haven't practiced for a week. Yeah, we just shut you down for 2 weeks for precaution, but we still having school, so pay that tuition. And then once you pay the tuition, they probably go to a hybrid model or they'll go to probably remote learning. But I just think it's to me personally, this my personal opinion is just it's to get them guys, precaution. It's a precaution, but also to get them people to buy in to pay that money. Because you have parents paying the money for the springtime, but they was teaching their kids at home themselves, but you paying tuition for a school. So, and they didn't give them any money back. So, I mean, you got the parents on one side don't think it's fair, and then you got the school needs their funding. So, it's bad on both sides.
Yeah, and then remember, teaching in the spring was not easy by any stretch of the imagination. I know for us, we didn't even hear from 40% of our students for much of that semester, so it's a hard place to be. I do have one question though, in terms of you're in Illinois coaching, right? You're on the Illinois side.
I coach in St. Louis.
Okay, so you're in St. Louis.
In the city. Yeah.
So in the city. So is Missouri talking about alternative options for high school play in the fall? And California is going to play football in January.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. Right now, we're on track. Like you see, Arlen, he's at practice. We should be practicing today, but our own school shut us down for precaution. Just nothing really happened, or nobody got COVID. At least I don't know, but they just shut us down. So St. Louis City did roll back their process. They was in stage 4 or something. They had to roll it back to 3, where you couldn't eat inside restaurants and things like that. So I think it's a little bit precaution, but a little bit, to get the people confident to come to school on August 10th.
That just blows my mind. I'm thinking, I'm seeing so many different districts that are like, okay, we're backing things up. We're not sure what we're doing. And you guys you're calming down, but you're still plowing towards August 10th. In the NFL world, though, all eyes are actually not really on the NFL as much as Major League Baseball. This last week, we saw the Marlins get shut down with all these different COVID cases. If you're an NFL player right now in the game and you're getting ready to open camp and you're seeing what happened with the Marlins, are you getting concerned at all about your season and what's going to happen with you?
It depends. Well, again, this is an economic issue. When you're talking about guys in their prime, take a risk every time they go out there and play the game, that's a risk in itself. So to me, those guys will go out there and take the risk. And they're going to try to play. I think those guys in the NFL, most of them need them checks. They support a lot of people. They are a little corporation. Most of the guys that you see opting out, they're vested guys, so they got a little bit of money stashed away. But, most of the league, they live on minimum wage, NFL minimum wage, so to speak. So they living basically year to year. So for those guys not to get those checks in September, it'll be hard on not just them but their whole family. So I think most of the guys are going to play. And the guys that are financially secure or don't have, like Goodwin just said he wasn't playing today, but he had a couple issues in his family with with health issues, and he didn't want to expose them. So if you're not in that, even if the guys have families that could be exposed or could be at risk, I still think it's an economic issue. I still think the players are still gonna go out there and try their hand and try to play. I mean, you got to figure the gas attendant's still working. Walmart been open. Target been open. Those people been going to work. So I mean, so it's time for people at least try to get back to work. Try to be safe. Do it that way. I mean, I think what the Marlins did, they're in a hot spot of Florida. Florida, it's hard to stay in the house. Hard to social distance. It's just the lifestyle. So I say that's why they got them caught up. That team, because they not living in a bubble. They were just all for one for all. It seemed like.
Well, Marlins are also one of the youngest teams in the league. I mean, I don't know how's that one, but we're not hearing about much else across MLB right now. We're not talking. That's the only team we're hearing massive cases for. So, fingers crossed. Other news out there. It's weird. We're a Rams podcast. We haven't had much Rams news, and Tommy, that's been unusual the last 2-3 years. There's usually something big going on with the Rams. They're calm, but in the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks made a big deal, huge deal. They traded away 2 first-round picks and Bradley McDougall to the Jets, 3 picks overall, for all-pro safety Jamal Adams. Safety tends to be a little undervalued in the secondary game. Usually quarterbacks get paid more. How do you evaluate a trade like this as a defensive guy?
Well, he's a game changer. He may be a future Hall of Famer one day. He's liking him to Air Reed or Palomalu when I play. He makes plays. He's a good leader. Some would think he's probably too much of a leader. He could take control of your team, but he loves the game of football. He's a passionate guy about the game of football. So when he goes out there, he's going to give everything he got. And then in the off season, he's just going to work his butt off. So in that sense, he's the perfect player. It's just when you with the Jets, man, the Jets got to lose their organization, man. They ain't never won nothing since Joe Namath way back when. So I think he wanted out. He went to LSU. So when you're around winning, you know what winning feels like. You know what the infrastructure feels like. You know how the coaching supposed to be. You know how everything is kind of supposed to be ran. Then when you get to a place and you don't see none of that in line, then it's not matching up to who you are. Then you're going to act a certain way. So he wanted out. He talked about at first he talked about the head coach. That ain't work. He talked about the GM. That ain't work. Now we talk about the boss, which is the owner. We talked about Woody. I knew it was only a matter of time. So I think Seattle got a great player. I think he's going to do big things out there. And I think the Jets just another losing organization that never going to win.
You've never been one to pull punches on things like that. And I have to wonder, the Giants have been down for a long time out there in New York. But yet, to me, that'd be the perfect opportunity. If the Jets ever want really to take out a niche of their own in that city that's legit, not just the hanger-on, that would be the time. Why have the Jets always just been the Jets? How?
Because they got bad ownership. Shit roll down here, as the old saying goes. Excuse my language, but the ownership been always bad. They bring the wrong GM, they draft the wrong players, they bring the wrong coaches in. They always wrong. Then they bring in Brett Favre when he's 50, they bring in Daniel Thompson when he's 40. So they bring in guys over the hill and to try to sell that to their fans. I just think they just in it just to be in it for an NFL team, but not really trying to win. If they happen to into an 8-8 season or something like that, close to the playoffs, then they think they have some success. But they're not. I don't see like I said, it starts with the owner, and I mean, Adam Gase is terrible. I mean, when you just think about when they hired him, man was at the press conference looking high. I mean, I don't know. He got a bad coach, bad GM, bad head coach. I mean, you're gonna have a bad team. So, the Giants got great organization. That's why they always win. They pick the right players. Actually, when you go to the combine, you know who got the longest test? The goddamn Giants. You got it's a damn hour, damn shit you got to fill out. Stuff you got to fill out, but. So that's what I see. This ownership.
Well, even with the Giants have had their time. They've struggled in the last decade at getting in playoffs, and yet you just mentioned the Giants are still an organization. On the flip side here, Adams gets traded for two first-round picks in that whole jazz. And we were just talking before we got going here, and boy, you were getting fired up real quick. The conventional wisdom is you don't trade 2 first-round picks for a safety. You don't do it. But you seem to like this trade. Why?
Because Adam, he's special. He led a game. He's passionate about it. He makes plays. He's all pro. I mean, he's young. He can run. He's a good leader. I mean, what else you want?
But as a safety, is he worth the price as a safety to you?
Yeah, I played with Ed Reed. Ed Reed was the price. How much they should have paid Ed Reed more.
Mm.
So I put him in that. They should have paid Palomalu more. I put him in that kind of mind frame where he can actually take the ball away and score, cause big plays in the backfield, but also score the ball. That's what Ed Reed, that's what Palomalu did. They was game changers, and he in the same mode as that. So I think he's worth every penny of it. I mean, you bring a guy who more than half the first rounds come out, wind up being bust. So them 2 late round, first round picks probably going to be bust anyway. And Jamal Adams is a guaranteed thing. He's a surefire thing. You know what you're going to get from him. These 2 guys in college right now, you don't know what you're going to get, who they're going to be, what type of players are. Do they love the game or do they just love what the game brings to them? So, I mean, I'm going to ride with Jamal Adams in it because he didn't actually done it consistent. Year after year.
Compare this, though, to the Rams. They went and sent 2 first-round picks to the Jaguars this last year for Jalen Ramsey. And, the Rams took crap from across the league. Many experts, I'm giving the whole parenthesis, the experts gave him crap. I was a defender of the deal, by the way. But do you feel the same way about that deal, considering this is Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, because he's young. Everything I just said about Jamal Adams, I can say about Jalen Ramsey. He's young. He makes plays. He's an all-pro. He's a guaranteed. He loves the game. He's a hard worker. I mean, what else you want? These 2 first-round guys you're going to get, you don't know if they love the game. You don't know if they're hard workers. I mean, you don't know if they're going to adapt to the pro-style game. But you know these guys, they already done it, already put the film out there. Their resume is blue as gold. So I'm gonna take the short thing over a college guy that's gonna be a late first round pick that you really don't know what you're gonna get out of him. And most of the first round picks be bust anyway. The second round picks, like myself, they the ones that wind up balling.
So let me get it's not free. The Rams overall take heat. I mean, they took heat big time because, they haven't had a first-round pick since, I think, 2016, right? Since Jared Goff. And you're saying it, listen, first-round picks, they bust. They bust. So are the Rams overall right? I'm getting that jive from you that they're right to go for the player they know over the players they don't.
Yeah, because most of the time the first round picks are potential players, right? Those guys got more they height, weight, speed, all that good. Second round picks, a little short. Maybe instead of running they're a little 10th below their 40 time, or they don't weigh as much as the first rounder, but they wind up actually being a better football player. When I was with the Rams, I think 3-4 years in a row, the second round pick got Rookie of the Year. And the first round pick. I mean, I got 3 first round picks got picked in front of me, and I got rookie of the year on the team. Then the next year, the second round pick got rookie of the year. Then the next year, they had another second round pick. So it seemed to me the second round picks wind up panning out more early. And like I said, if the first round pick figured out, he has more of the upside. But the second round pick's probably going to be a surefire pick. So the Rams having second round picks, I mean, especially the kid from Florida State, he was a projected elite first round pick. That he could have been. So I think they got first round talent. It's just the fans want to be on the board. They want to be screaming, yeah, we got a first round pick. Let's see who we're going to pick. But I think the second round picks actually be the ones turning out a little bit more work.
When you're looking at the Rams now heading into the season, and the Seahawks already were a team that many felt were going to compete for the NFC West. And how does this trade affect, in your view, the NFC West race? How does it affect how the Rams are going to have to handle the Seahawks compared to how they handled them last year? What does this really do? How does this affect the Rams?
I mean, I think it affects the Rams. I mean, Seattle got a great player, so of course he's going to make plays against the Rams. So I mean, he could possibly win a game for him. I mean, or game or two. I mean, he's a player like that, so I mean, it could affect him. I bet he's better than the other players that they had for Seattle back in the secondary, or whoever their safety was before that. So, I think he could affect them in a bad way because he can make plays against them and ruin their season because he's that type of player.
I'm just thinking of, I'm thinking of those over the middle passes that Jared Goff could have and sometimes did get picked off last year. That if he's making those same mistakes he made last year, this year against a guy like Jamal Adams in the middle of the football field, that's gonna be ugly.
Yeah, he can score it, and not only does he play in the secondary, he can blitz off the edge. And I mean, one player I think he played last year, he had the whole hat trick. He went in, took the ball from the quarterback, ran it in for a touchdown. So you got a sack, caused fumble, recover fumble, and a touchdown all on one play. So I mean, anytime a guy can do that, I mean, it's only could be a plus for your team.
So that's the one deal there. Now the other deals in the last week, though, have been very interesting. The Browns sign Myles Garrett, 5 years, $125 million. It's a guy who just at the end of the season last year was suspended. When the Browns were actually they were on a roll, they were playing well. He gets himself in trouble. The Steelers are just as guilty, by the way, in that one. And then you come out this offseason, you sign a big contract, big deal. How do you analyze Myles Garrett and the role he'll have with this team in the future?
Well, he lived up to the number one pick. Shit happens out there. You know, this is a barbaric game. I mean, that's why people watch it. They watch us to go at it. He lost his cool for a quick second in the game. It happens. You're going to get your rival. They don't. How many times they beat Pittsburgh in the last 15 years? Probably once, maybe, if that. So, I mean, that kid is there. To me, he's a great kid. Every interview I hear about him when he talks, before the draft, he's a great kid. He got a good family. I think he just got overhyped and made a mistake. So I'm not going to crucify the man and say, he didn't deserve his money because he make plays. I think he deserved every penny. He should have got more.
I mean, let's also be realists. I mean, people hammered Garrett for that, but you go back and you watch the film of that whole thing, that whole game, and how he and the Pittsburgh quarterback interacted. And let's just say that quarterback was not innocent, not by any stretch of the imagination, and should have gotten more attention than he did. What'd you say? This is
football. It don't matter. This is football, man. Or any sport, you got the baseball guys. They run out there, they fight all the. I mean, so you in practice you see more worse stuff than that. So I mean, to see it on the field, yeah. I mean, during the game, yeah, it look a little bit, unruly or barbaric. But I mean, Romanowski snatched the dude's helmet off, punched him in the face. back in the days when I would play, spit in the guy's face.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is football, man. Shit happen.
So I gotta ask you because I'm genuinely curious. I really want to know, when you were on the field and you're talking about this is a barbaric game, what is the craziest thing you ever did on the field?
Craziest thing? Well, I know in high school, I took a couple helmets, I knocked a couple helmets off and threw them on the sideline. I kicked the football in the stands one time. I mean, I got in a fight before the game. We was playing Florida. I got in a fight before the game. I got kicked out of the game at Arizona Cardinals. That was the craziest thing. So I'm in the game. We already lose. Arizona kicking our ass. We had Sorry me as a defensive coordinator. I don't even want me to talk about that. But anyway. So I'm in the game. They kicking our ass at Arizona. And the dude's on the sideline talking about calling me out my name. Some dude that wasn't even dressed a player. And he was just disrespecting me. I was like, buddy, you don't even know me. And he was like, so I warned him. I like, buddy, don't call me out my name again. You're not even playing. So it was a penalty on the play. And he's on the sideline, still heckling, still calling me out my name. And I don't know this guy from a can of paint. So I walks over to him. I'm looking around, like, see if the ref ain't looking. And I smacked him in the face. Smile! And the ref, I turned around and the ref happened to be looking. The back judge happened to look at the same time I smacked him in the face. And he threw the penalty. He threw that flag at least 25, 30 yards. I'm talking about that flag was flying. And so I tell Arch, man, I'm getting kicked out of the game. I'm out of here. He's like, what happened, man? Like, I smacked dude right there running his mouth. So I'm walking off the field. The Arizona fans boom me. They throwing bottles and all. The Mike March was pissed.
Oh, I think I remember this now. You just got. I think I remember.
He was pissed, but because he didn't, he didn't want his he never wanted his team to be looked at like that. But like I say, shit happened. I went to Florida State. We fought damn near every day in practice, but we won a lot. So it was just that was a crazy thing. I actually got kicked out of the game that game.
What was the craziest thing you witnessed? Like, we saw somebody else do?
Let me think.
Yeah, making you think now.
It wasn't too much. I seen Pac-Man out there. Pac-Man Jones going crazy one time. And I was just telling him, like, calm down, Pac-Man. Fuck me. He cussing me out. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you, calm down, buddy. Like, relax. But I seen Ozzie Bruce get pissed off one time, like, in the game. I think a defensive back for San Fran that called him out his name. And like you said, Ike don't get mad too much, man. But Ike was so mad after that, man. He called him out his name. He called him a word. I'm not going to repeat it, but he called him a word. You don't call somebody in South Florida. He called him that. And Ike was trying to kill him on the field, like trying to beat him up. Let's imagine Reverend Ike Bruce was trying to kill somebody out there. But he wound up killing him on the field anyway, but it wasn't too much wild stuff to happen.
So none of that whole, Aqib Talib tearing the necklace off and none of that jazz out there for you?
I know back then they was gonna meet you. You was gonna meet somebody on the field on the locker room. All this PC culture now. Back then it was gonna be but they was gonna see you somewhere.
So what's changed the game then? Like you mentioning PC culture. What's changed the game? Is the game nicer then? Is it nicer now or
it's still the LeBron effect, man. All the players are cool with each other. They exchanging jerseys after the game and pleasantries before the game, and it's just a different atmosphere, different environment, different style. These players are more friendlier to each other because I guess the social media, another aspect where. Back when I played, we barely spoke to each other. Forget you. We like to battle out here, and I hate you and you hate me. So, Let's get to it. Now it's more, we competing, but see you off the field. Let's exchange jerseys, stuff like that. So just a different atmosphere.
Now, you going back to current and Joey Bosa getting the big deal from the Chargers, and honestly, if I'm comparing these two players, tell me if I'm wrong. I think Myles Garrett's the better player. I think Myles Garrett's the more explosive player. By the way, I'm a Buckeye saying that. Am I wrong? Because Bosa just got paid more. I mean,
they both the same to me. I take both of them. 1A, 1B. I think they both the same. They both are productive. They both can get after the passer. I mean, they're double-digit sack guys. I mean, since Bosa walked in, no training camp, no nothing. 10 sacks, right? So, Myles Garrett's the same way. I just think those guys are exceptional what they do, and they love their craft. I mean, you seen Bosa out there after the game doing drills with Tommy Polley one day after the game. They were showing each other moves after the game, how to do stuff. So he loves the game. He's a special player. Him and his brothers. His brother's a special player too. So anytime you can get 10 plus sacks, you know them guys are gonna get 10 plus sacks a year. You gotta pay those guys. It's a premium position. I mean, along with quarterback, then you got the left tackle and then defensive end. So yeah, you gotta pay them whatever they're looking for. I think they right on par with each other.
So just a question though, overall for you, in terms just for the folks who don't know the game as well, or the casual fan, why are edge rushers that important? Like, we know when we watch a game, when we see what they do, violence-wise, right? But what makes them so special there? What makes them so critical to a game where defensive coaches will try and get them in a position to get off the edge faster and quicker into the quarterback?
Because it's a passing game now. So anytime you can mess that timing up with a little bit of pressure, it throws the offense off, throws the offensive rhythm off a little bit. And he can wreck a whole game plan. Back when I played, it was more of an in-the-box game, more of a running game. Your linebackers had to be real good. You had to have a big D tackle that was going to maybe take up 2 blocks. But nowadays, I mean, it's a space game. So you got to get after the quarterback and you got to be able to cover DBs. The DBs got to be able to cover. And if your DBs can't cover and you can't get after the quarterback, I mean, you're in for a long night.
When did that change start happening in the league? Were you already seeing that when you were in the league, or were you seeing it was happening before? The emphasis on the end that we have now, like the end is in a first round draft, Ben. It's not unusual to see 5-6 end pass rushers come off the board within the first 20 picks.
Yeah, we was playing when I was with the Rams. Of course, the Rams was the greatest show on turf, so that was the whole thing. You couldn't sit back and play a zone. Mike was going to eat the zone up. You couldn't play a lot of man because they was going to eat you up with the pick routes. So what teams try to do is try to hit the quarterback. If the players did catch it, hit him. So Mike was changing the game right there back then with the 5 wides, 5 out, things like that. But on the flip side, if you got pressure on the quarterback, what I started seeing more teams do is, all right, y'all might get a lot of yards, but your quarterback will be picking his teeth up by the fourth quarter. So so then Peyton Manning was doing that. So you had a few teams doing that. Us, Peyton Manning, maybe a few more, but then everybody started going to that. The rules changed. The running back wasn't important no more. You had to have a quarterback.
Don't let Arlen hear you say that.
Those. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, that's what it is. So, I think Mike Mott's, the greatest show on turf started changing it for more teams want to emulate that. So, and you got to have that pass rusher. I mean, one time we playing the Giants here at home, and we could not block Michael Strahan for nothing. Man,
That was
like
the game I was thinking about. I was thinking about that game. I was thinking that was, 15-14?
Yeah,
if I remember correctly?
We beat them. We snuck out of there, but the greatest show on the turf scored 2 touchdowns. He wrecked the whole game plan. So that's what a great pass rusher do. He can wreck the whole game plan. I witnessed it that day. We really couldn't do anything. But we snuck out of there with a win. We played good defense on our side, but I mean, he was just, and then when Leonard Little, man, when he used to get after, we used to get in that cover too. We used to get up 2 touchdowns, and Leonard Little just pin his ear back. I mean, that's when we was at our best. And that's when we was working hand in hand. The offense get up 2 touchdowns, and we pitting that cover 2. Leonard go get him. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. That's why he won a lot of games.
So Michael Strahan currently holds the NFL record, 22.5 sacks. Got that his rookie year. I for some reason, even in my brain today, the little asterisk is there because of the whole Brett Favre play. He earned it, don't get me wrong, but it's still in the back of my mind. I remember the Brett Favre play. Today's stars, today's pass rushers, like Myles Garrett, all these guys, Bosa's, can you see one of them breaking that record?
Oh, yeah, I can see one of them. I can see Aaron Donald breaking it. I mean, I can definitely see one of those guys. You just got to put it all together, no injuries, play to the end of the season. I mean, a lot of times those guys lose reps because they're already in the playoffs, so they, resting and things like that, so they losing plays. But those guys, no doubt, can get out. But then somebody didn't. What? Aaron Donald? Who came close?
Aaron Donald came close.
Who
was
guy
someone
in Denver?
else?
What's his name in Denver?
Von Miller?
Didn't he come close?
Let me see. Here's the.
I think he had like 2021. I think Aaron Donald. I mean, what Aaron Donald does is special, man. For a D tackle to get that many sacks, consistently double digits. I mean, that's something. I used to think Warren Sapp was special like that, but he's Aaron Donald way more special than that.
My concern with Aaron Donald, though, is I'm not so sold yet that he has enough support in the pass rush to be able to break that record. Like right now, I mean, most of the guys they brought in on the line are run stuffers now, right? And we don't know anything really about how good this linebacking core is going to be. And I'm just sitting there thinking, man, I don't know. I don't know if he can do this not because he can't, has the ability to, but you need support on the line. You need to have someone else that scares you as an offense. You need someone else who can scare that offensive line, make them think about.
I think as a D coordinator, you can do things like, it's called manipulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I do to get guaranteed, I'm going to guarantee these one-on-one blocks. I'll put my linebackers up in the gap. You got a little bit more X-blitzes with your linebackers. You got a little bit more. So, and then when you don't want to bring them, just show them up in the hole and then drop them out. The other way, the center got a hole. You got your one-on-one block with Aaron Donald. So it's different things that you can do to be creative. I didn't see, the DC do that last year. I'm hearing this DC going show a little bit more pressure and like show it, back out, do different looks, give the offense different looks so Aaron Donald can get more one-on-ones. But you could do it. And I think number 50, Ogabon, whatever his name is, I think he's improved. He's going to improve his pass rush. I've been looking at some stuff in the offseason. He's been working on his skill set. Terrell Lewis, who's a kid out of the DMV and with Alabama, I think he's going to help out in the pass rush area. So I think they got some tools, but then, like I said, the defensive coordinator helped them out with some looks.
So just to kind of reference the sack numbers here, recent people who caught him close. Jared Allen in 2011 with Minnesota with 22 sacks within a half sack. Justin Houston with Kansas City in 2014 had 22. Aaron Donald had 20 and a half in 2018. J.J. Watt had 20 and a half both in 2012 and 2014. Shaquille Barrett for Tampa Bay last year, 19 and a half. And Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones, 19 for Arizona. And, of course, Robert Quinn in 2013. There you go. Von Miller had 18 and a half in 2012. By the way, just some names, some some blasts from the past days where Chris Dolman had 21 in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie White.
White.
And 21 in 1987.
The minister.
And Lawrence
Minister
Taylor.
of Defense.
Lawrence Taylor, 20 and a half.
I don't give a damn. Nobody better. Ain't none of them better than Lawrence Taylor. Ain't none of them. All them guys you name, I'm taking LT. I want the high LT too. On that coked up LT. Give me that LT right there with the earring. Blast it. Let's go. I know you're gonna run through the wall.
Oh my gosh. I didn't see that one coming. There's other names on here too, Derek Thomas. Done there for 1990 at 20 sacks.
Great player.
Let's see here.
He was ahead of his time.
Clyde Simmons had 19 in 1992. Dexter Manley, remember him?
I remember Dexter Manley. Couldn't read. That was on my favorite team though. But he learned he couldn't read. He used to go. I read his book when he was a young age. He used to go to practice every day and read the newspaper and couldn't read. But he had the newspaper though.
That's bananas.
But he had a great story though. Overcame a lot. Good dude.
There's some stuff here. Bruce Smith had 19 sacks in 1990. I remember old Bruce. That guy was
Bruce Smith? Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Andre Tippett had for the Patriots had 18 and a half in 1984. Maybe bring back some names now. Yeah. Keith Millard. Richard Dent.
Richard Dent. Yeah, it sounds like a couple 4-6 defenses in there.
Mm-hmm.
Clyde Simmons played in that Buddy Ryan defense. Richard Dent played in that Buddy Ryan 4-6 defense.
So
see what that 4-6 does. What I was saying, it covers up all them linemen, so you got all one-on-one blocks. You remember I was just telling you before about Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
Instead of you don't play a lot of bad defense now because the game ain't like that. But you can jump in the bad. But to show a little bad front, you show. So Aaron in the 3 alignment, a 3 technique, and the other D tag on the 3 technique. You show the linebacker, sugar him in the A. That center got to hold a little bit more. So just show a little bit, But that's what I see. You got to get them one-on-ones. So go ahead.
Could the 46 be successful today in today's NFL?
You can run it on occasion. You can't. You can't live with it, but you can run it like if I'm playing Tennessee, or if I'm playing San Fran teams, Seattle teams like to run the ball. Yeah, I'm gonna probably get some bad front. But you can't live in it like against the Rams. You jump in that bad front, you might be in them for a long day. So different teams.
Just think about how much the NFL's changed, and I'm thinking about all those old 49er defenses, the old Giant defenses, and how they would match up against.
I mean, even the cover 2 I played in with Lovey. I mean, back then it was a great defense, right? Because you had to throw it in the little hole. And if you did throw it in that little cover 2 hole, you was going to get the mess hit out you. But now you take that away. Now you can't hit nobody. So the cover 2 really, and then the 7-on-7, the progression of the 7-on-7. Everybody know how to beat the cover 2 with the routes and all that. So I think between people always seeing cover 2 because of the 7-on-7. And then you can't hit of somebody making a hole shot, you can't hit the guy. And the guy know you can't hit him. So cover 2 is all for nothing.
I mean, to me, cover 2 is extinct now, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. I mean, you can run it every blue just as a change up, but we lived to die with it. I mean, that was our beast. Oh, yeah. But you can't do that nowadays.
And then that's probably what got Lovey out of the league, is that he had cover 2, and there's probably more to it than that. You probably know more than I do about Lovey Smith. That's a question for a different day. But there you go. What became a defensive show, absent Arlen. Hopefully we can get him on for next recording. But in the meantime, though, get some final thoughts from you, Tommy, as we're heading into August here. Football's right around the corner. What's your final thoughts for tonight?
I just can't wait to the NFL to get started. I'm missing football. Hopefully we get to play. I'm still conflicted whether the high school should play because the testing protocols are not in place like they are in the college. I mean, I got kids in college. They're living in a bubble. You're not hearing about it, but kids in college are living in a bubble right now. They got to go to the hotel to practice, They can't see their family at least till the September. So they're sacrificing right now. I was getting on my kid like laugh. I said, "Boy, y'all arms are gonna be strong." By the end, I mean, you're a young man. You got to stay in the room for a month and a half, not be around your family and your girlfriend. It's gonna be a long day, but you got to sacrifice. So I think the Power 5 is gonna play. Can't wait till the NFL get back. But I'm just conflicted with the high school situation. If we don't play, I feel really bad for the seniors who don't have the opportunity to go out, with their senior year with a bang, or just having a senior year. So I'm just in a conflicted mode, but hopefully it all works itself out.
The college folks say living in a bubble. Is that going to have, in your view, a negative effect on these kids the longer they're in that bubble, though?
I mean, they old enough. They understand what's going on. I mean, you probably a high school kid that wasn't mature, or a middle school kid. But I mean, even the case that these kids are smart nowadays, they hearing all what's going on. So just to them having the privilege of playing the game, where a lot of people ain't gonna be able to play. I mean, you got to look at that too. So I don't think it have any effect on it. They got FaceTime. You got Zoom, Skype. I mean, you got all these apparatuses. You just ain't got that touch though.
Yeah, but man, these young men are going to want to go out and party. They're going to college. Let's just be honest. These kids are going to party, right? So that's actually one thing. Are they going to be able to party at all? They're going to freak out that they can't go party. Well, I guess you better wait till October or December.
Well, they can't party anyway, even if they wasn't playing football, right? What are they doing?
They shouldn't be.
Okay. If they wasn't, say they me and you, right? Are you out partying?
Nah, man, I'm just working.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So ain't a lot of partying going to be going on regardless if you playing football or not. It shouldn't be anywhere.
You shouldn't be, but I mean, we saw what happened in Florida, right? So
it's happening everywhere, man. But I would say a lot of people are trying to take precautions, but you got them wild people out here still living a La Vida Loca.
Living the Leo. All right, folks, we're going to get on out of here. We'll get back to the division previews, and man, I can't check in with Arlen and see how that team is coming together after there for him. Find us on Twitter at Rams Brawl. You can find Tommy where on Twitter?
At T-Polley29.
You can find me at Ciapala, and you can find Arlen at Arlen Harris 33. And make sure that you are checking in with us as we get closer now. Football's coming. We're going to see this more and more. We got these previews get out of the way, and hopefully, we can get some good guests on as well. So, in the meantime, we're out of here. We'll see you next time.